Hello everyone. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And if you're already part of our community, leave your like and share this video with your friends. Let's spread this message together. Now let's get to the point. Imagine yourself in a moment of silence and reflection. You are in a quiet place, perhaps in your room or a special corner of your house, where you feel closest to God. In this setting, we begin our journey, a journey to discover the strength and beauty of prayer. Today, we will explore 10 powerful prayers based on the Bible that God always answers. These prayers are a foundation for difficult moments, bringing comfort and hope. Prayer is more than words spoken into the wind. It is an intimate conversation with our Creator, a moment when we open our hearts and share our joys, sorrows, fears, and hopes. Through prayer, we connect our souls to the divine source of love and wisdom. In this first part, I want you to imagine yourself as a traveler in search of answers, facing the challenges of life. Prayer is the compass that guides our steps, illuminating our path even in the darkest hours. It is an act of faith and trust, where we acknowledge our need for God and surrender to His will. As we progress, remember that each prayer we share is not just a magical formula, but a sincere expression of our faith. Each one carries the promise that God is listening and present, ready to respond with love and wisdom. So, prepare your heart and mind. Let's begin this spiritual journey, discovering the 10 prayers that God always answers. Immerse yourself in this experience with faith and openness, knowing that by the end, you will emerge strengthened and inspired to face any challenge life may bring. The first prayer we explore is the prayer for wisdom. In moments of uncertainty, when we don't know which path to follow, we can seek divine guidance. Remember Solomon, who asked God for wisdom and was blessed with discernment and understanding beyond the ordinary. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James 1:5. Imagine yourself in a challenging situation, perhaps facing an important decision at work or in your personal life. You feel lost and confused, not knowing the best choice to make. At this moment, you kneel and pray, "Lord, grant me wisdom to discern the right path. Help me make decisions that align with your will. Illuminate my mind and heart so I can see beyond my limitations and trust in your guidance." As you pray, you feel a deep peace invading your being. It's as if a gentle light begins to illuminate your mind, clearing your doubts and bringing a clearer understanding of what needs to be done. This sense of clarity is God's answer to your plea, showing that He is by your side, guiding every one of your steps. Divine wisdom not only helps us make the right decisions, but also provides us with a broader vision of life, allowing us to see things from God's perspective. With this wisdom, we face challenges with more confidence and serenity, knowing we are not alone on this journey. Continue to pray for wisdom whenever you find yourself in difficult situations. God is faithful and will respond, granting you the discernment needed to navigate life's paths with safety and faith. Now let's talk about the prayer for strength. Often we feel weak and unable to face the challenges that arise in our lives, but God promises to give us strength when we need it most. The Bible reminds us of this in Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Imagine yourself in a moment of extreme exhaustion. Maybe you're facing financial problems, health issues, or family difficulties that seem overwhelming. You feel your strength slipping away and don't know how you will continue. At this moment, you kneel and pray, "Lord, I feel weak and without the strength to face the difficulties I am going through. I ask that you renew my energy and strengthen me. Give me the courage to move forward, even when everything seems impossible. I trust you to be my refuge and my strength." As you pray, you notice a sense of renewal beginning to fill your body and mind. The fatigue starts to dissipate, replaced by new energy and determination. You feel as if God is holding your hands, lifting you up, and giving you the strength needed to face your challenges. This strength is not only physical, but also emotional and spiritual. God enables us to handle our difficulties with a resilience that comes from His power. He reminds us that, even in the darkest moments, His strength is available to sustain us. Continue to pray for strength whenever you feel you can no longer continue. God is our inexhaustible source of vigor and promises that when we seek His help, He will give us the energy needed to overcome any obstacle. Now let's talk about the prayer for wisdom. Often, we face difficult decisions and don't know which path to take. The Bible assures us that God is willing to give us wisdom if we ask for it. In James 1:5 we read, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Imagine yourself in a dilemma, perhaps an important decision at work, a complicated family problem, or a choice about your future. You are confused and unsure about the best decision. At this moment, you kneel and pray, "Lord, I need your wisdom. I don't know which path to take and fear making the wrong choice. I ask that you illuminate my mind and heart so I can clearly see the direction I should take. I trust that you will guide me and give me discernment." After making this prayer, you start to notice that your mind becomes clearer. The options that previously seemed confusing now make more sense. You feel an inner peace, knowing that God is guiding your thoughts and decisions. He gives you the confidence to follow the path He has prepared for you. The wisdom that God offers is not only for big decisions, but also for the small choices of daily life. He helps us see things from a divine perspective, understand the consequences of our actions, and act with discernment and prudence. Remember to seek God's wisdom in all areas of your life. He is the perfect guide and is always willing to give us the clarity and understanding we need. By trusting in His wisdom, we can face any situation with confidence and serenity. The prayer for healing is another that God always answers. Facing illnesses, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, can be one of the greatest challenges in a person's life. The Bible offers us comfort and hope that God hears our pleas for healing. In Jeremiah 30:17 we read, "But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord." Imagine yourself or someone you love going through a serious illness. The pain, fear, and uncertainty can be overwhelming. In a moment of despair, you turn to God in prayer. "Lord, I come to you seeking healing. You know my pain and suffering. I cry out to you, O God, to pour out your healing power over me. I ask that you restore my health, relieve my pain, and give me the strength to face this challenge. I trust in your mercy and love." After this prayer, you feel a deep comfort, knowing that God is by your side. Although healing may not be immediate or in the way we expect, God gives us the strength to endure, the peace to accept, and the hope to keep fighting. Divine healing can come in many forms. It can be a miraculous recovery, the ability to find the right treatment, or even the emotional strength to endure the healing process. God works in mysterious ways, but His presence is always a balm for our wounded souls. In addition to seeking physical healing, remember to pray for emotional and spiritual healing as well. The healing of the heart and soul is equally important, and God is always ready to restore us completely. When facing illnesses, keep your faith firm. God hears our pleas and is always present, offering His comfort and healing. Trust in Him and know that regardless of the circumstances, He never abandons us. The prayer for wisdom is essential, especially when facing difficult decisions or complicated situations. In James 1:5, we find a powerful promise. "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Think of a moment when you feel lost, not knowing which path to take. The options are many, and each seems to have its own challenges. It is a moment when divine wisdom can make all the difference. You kneel in prayer, seeking God's guidance. "Lord, I am at a crossroads and don't know which path to take. I ask you, O God, to grant me wisdom. Illuminate my mind and heart so that I can make the right decision. Help me discern your will amid my doubts and trust that, with your wisdom, I can face any situation." After this prayer, a sense of calm and clarity begins to emerge. Although the decision may still be difficult, you feel that God is guiding your steps, offering the wisdom needed to make the right choice. Divine wisdom is not just knowledge, but the ability to apply that knowledge correctly and justly. It is wisdom that comes with peace and certainty, even amid the storm. God promises to give this wisdom generously to all who ask, without reproach. Besides asking for wisdom for yourself, it is also important to pray for the wisdom of leaders and those who make decisions that affect many lives. Their choices can have profound impacts, and divine guidance can bring justice and benevolence in their actions. Trust that when you seek wisdom in prayer, God answers. He illuminates our paths, helps us understand what is right, and gives us the courage to act according to His will. God's wisdom is a precious gift that guides us through life, helping us live fully and justly. The prayer for strength and courage is crucial in moments of weakness and fear. In Isaiah 41:10, we find a message of comfort and strengthening. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Imagine facing a situation that seems unbearable, where physical and emotional strengths are depleting. At this moment, the only thing that can sustain is the strength that comes from God. You turn to Him in prayer, seeking courage to continue. Lord, I feel weak and helpless. The difficulties seem enormous and my courage is waning. I ask you, O God, to grant me strength and courage. Help me face the challenges with the confidence that you are with me. Strengthen my spirit and renew my energy so I can move forward. After this prayer, a feeling of renewal begins to bloom. You feel a new energy and courage that seemed impossible before. The certainty that God is by your side brings a strength that transcends the physical and reaches the spiritual. God promises us that even in the most difficult moments, He is with us, offering the necessary strength to face any challenge. This strength is not only physical, but also emotional and spiritual, allowing us to persevere and overcome obstacles. Besides asking for strength for yourself, it is important to pray for the strength of others who are in difficult situations. Your prayers can be a source of encouragement and support for those who are struggling. The strength and courage that God grants enable us to face life's storms with confidence and determination. Knowing that we are not alone, that we have a powerful God by our side, gives us the courage to face any challenge. God sustains us with His faithful right hand, and we can trust that, with Him, we are more than conquerors. The prayer for protection is another that God always answers. In Psalm 91:4, we find a promise of divine security. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Imagine yourself in a moment of great insecurity, where dangers seem to be everywhere. At this hour you turn to God, seeking His protection and safety. Lord, I feel surrounded by dangers and threats. Fear tries to take hold of my heart, but I know that in you, I find a safe refuge. I ask you, O God, to cover me with your protective wings. May your truth be my shield and defense against all evil. After this prayer, you feel a peace that did not exist before. A confidence that, regardless of the circumstances around you, you are protected by God. He is your refuge and fortress, present in every moment of need. Besides praying for your own protection, you also pray for the protection of those you love. Asking God to cover your family, friends, and all who need divine security, you spread the blessing of protection to others. Divine protection is not only physical, but also spiritual. God guards us from visible and invisible dangers, from enemies we cannot see and attacks we cannot predict. In every dangerous situation, we can trust that God is vigilant, ready to protect us. The prayer for protection reminds us that we are not alone. God is always by our side, ready to guard and protect us. In every danger, in every threat, we can rest assured that we are safe in God's hands. His truth is our shield, and under His wings we find refuge. The prayer for guidance is crucial, especially in moments of indecision. In Proverbs 3:5-6, we find the promise that God will guide us. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Think of a moment when you are facing a big decision, not knowing which path to take. With a heart full of confusion and doubts, you turn to God in prayer. Lord, I am facing difficult choices and don't know what to do. My mind is full of uncertainties and I fear making the wrong choice. I ask you, Lord, to guide me. Help me trust in you with all my heart and not rely on my own limited understanding. Show me the right way and direct my steps. After making this prayer, you feel an immediate relief, as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. The certainty that God is in control and will guide your decisions brings an unparalleled peace. You begin to notice small signs and directions in your daily life, a word from a friend, a Bible passage that resonates in your heart, or even a deep intuition that points to the right direction. God is speaking to you, guiding every step you take. The prayer for guidance also teaches us to be patient. Often we want immediate answers, but God guides us in His perfect time. As we learn to wait and trust, we develop a deeper faith and a more intimate relationship with God. This divine guidance is not limited to big decisions. In the small choices of daily life, God is also present, ready to help us and show us the best way. Each decision, big or small, is an opportunity to trust in God and seek His guidance. The prayer for guidance reminds us that we are not alone in our journeys. God is always by our side, ready to guide us. In every decision, in every step, we can trust that He is directing us to the right path. Finally, we come to the last prayer, the prayer for discernment. In James 1:5 it is written, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Imagine yourself facing a difficult decision where the options are many and the consequences significant. Feeling confused and uncertain, you raise your voice to God. "Lord, I need your wisdom. The choices before me are complex, and I don't know which path to take. I ask you to grant me discernment to make the right decision. Illuminate my mind, guide my thoughts, and help me see clearly your will for my life." After this prayer, you notice a subtle but powerful change. Your mind begins to clear, and the options that once seemed tangled start to unravel. God, in His infinite wisdom, begins to reveal the right path, showing signs and providing peace about the correct decision. Over the days, you notice that opportunities and insights arise, helping to outline the best choice. Maybe you receive wise advice from trusted people, or perhaps a new understanding emerges as you meditate on the Scriptures. Each moment of clarity is an answer to your prayer for discernment. Divine wisdom not only guides your decisions, but also strengthens your confidence in God's providence. You learn to depend more on Him, constantly seeking His guidance in all areas of life. The prayer for discernment becomes a habit, a daily practice that transforms your way of thinking and acting. This practice not only brings personal benefits, but also impacts those around you. With God's wisdom, you can offer wiser advice, make decisions that benefit your community, and live a life that reflects divine truth and justice. And so, we conclude our journey through the 10 prayers that God always answers. Each of these prayers is a powerful demonstration of faith and trust in God's love and wisdom. As we face life's challenges, we can remember that God is always present, listening to our prayers, and responding in ways we may not immediately understand, but are always for our good. By incorporating these prayers into our daily routine, we strengthen our relationship with God and open ourselves to the transformation that only He can provide. Whether in moments of joy or difficulty, these prayers remind us that we are never alone and that we can always turn to God for comfort, guidance, and peace. May this journey inspire you to continue praying with faith and trust, knowing that God hears and responds to each of our prayers. May your life be filled with blessings, and may you feel God's loving presence at all times. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep seeing God's work in your life. If you enjoyed this inspiring instruction, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends and family. This helps us continue bringing more uplifting content to you. Thank you so much for your support.